Hi folks, this is question 9. First thing we have to do is multiply 4x by 5x. That gives us 20x squared. X by x is x squared. Then 4x multiplied by 4, that gives us 16x. Then it's minus 3 by x, that gives us minus 3x. And the last bit is minus 3 multiplied by minus 2, so be really careful. So minus multiplied by minus, so it's a plus, so it's plus 6. Then the 2 in the middle are just x's. It's 16x, take away 3x, that's 13x. And that's as much as we can do. So 20x squared plus 13x plus 6. And that's all. The next bit, it says factorize, but what we have to recognize here is that it's difference of two squares. So look back at difference of two squares if you can't remember, but I'm going to write that as 3 squared, and I'm going to simplify the 25 into 5 to be squared. So that's minus all 5y, all to be squared. So the 5 and the y being squared. So I've got two things that are being squared, a 3 and a 5y and a minus in the middle. So I can factorize them into this 3 minus, well, 3 plus 5y, doesn't remember sign you go first, 3 minus 5. So the first thing, the second thing added, the first thing and the second thing subtracted. That's do different where you have to recognize that. Here we have, you need to be able to write everything as 5 to the power of something first of all. The first one is already 5 to the power of 7, so that doesn't need to change. Second one, I'm going to write 25 as 5 squared, but then that is still all to the power of 3. So we'll leave it like that for a second. On the bottom, you need to know that square root is the same thing as to the power of a half. So 5 to the power of a half. Root 5 is the same thing as 5 to the power of a half. Then I can just tidy it up a little bit, so it's 5 to the power of 7. Now when I've got a power raised to a power, I can multiply the two powers. So 5 to the power of 2 to the power of 3 is the same as 5 to the power of 6. That's a rule of indices. That a power raised to the power, you can just multiply the powers. So look back, if you're not sure, all over 5 to the power of a half. Then on the top, another rule of indices is if I have the same base, so I do here, which is 5, to different powers, and it's multiplied, I can just add the powers together. So that's the same thing as 5 to the power of 13 on top, over 5 to the power of a half. Then finally, I can, when I've got they're being divided, then what I can do is I can subtract the power. So I can do 13 minus a half. And if you do that, and you can use calculator if you need, you'll get 5 to the power of 25 over 2. 25 over 2 is the power. And that's it. And that's all for question 9.